Hi, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of Glog by Go. And for those who doesn't really know what Go is, Go stands for Bring Your G Out. It's a platform focused and solely focused on the G-Wagon, the people and the story behind the G-Wagon. If you really like the G-Wagon, please subscribe and leave your comments below. Maybe you're wondering what's up with the tires and wheels. And this is not a video teaching you how to dismount the spare wheel from the spare wheel bracket. It's not I got a flat tire on my road trip or I got a flat tire on my daily commute. Today we're going to talk about the yearly registration renewal and the strict inspection on the vehicle every year after first 6 years. For the first 6 years, the new vehicle purchased, all you gotta do is go to the DMV and pay a fee, and you will get a sticker right after the paying the fee, and you can put it right on the upper right corner of the windshield. But when your vehicle is over 6 years old, you have to do the yearly registration renewal in a designated location from the police department. You have to go there, do a bunch of safety inspections under the supervision from the police department. For my 2013 G63 Amg, I have to do the the inspection yearly. She's 6 years old and she has to go through the all the safety inspections yearly. It has to restore to its original look 6 years ago. When I say restored, the exterior has to be identical to the file stored on their computer system, including everything such as the exterior color, the wheel, the tire. Even the spec of the tire has to be exactly the same. Currently, I got a Cooper's 83 tires, which is 275, 55, 20. The original tire was like 275, 50, 20. So it comes down to the fact that I have to find exact the same tires with the original. I checked online and I found some used tires from the internet, and they offer like 2,000 RMB for 4 of the tires. It's like $250, which is a little bit expensive than I think. After the safety inspection, probably I'm gonna throw my 83 tires back on again. So I don't really want to spend that kind of money. So big shout out to the G63 Amg's owner from Shanghai. I don't want to mention his name, but big shout out to him and thanks for him to give me, his 4 tires and the wheels. Tire shop will charge for like 100 RMB for changing the wheel. Wait a minute, 100 RMB for each wheel, that's going to be 400 RMB for 4 wheels. I don't think it's money that I should pay. So I just want to, change all the 4 wheels on my own and try to experience a little bit more. Try to get familiar with the, changing tires and everything. So I can do it on my own during my road trip if I got into trouble with a flat tire, that kind of things. So stop the vehicle on solid and flat ground. Avoid changing wheels on the uphill or downhill slopes. Apply the parking brake. Bring the front wheel into the straight ahead position. Safeguard the vehicle from rolling away. If you do not position the jack at the correct jacking point, the jack could probably tip over. You probably need to use, To raise the vehicle, only use the specific jack. It's tested and approved by the Mercedes-Benz. So they've done a lot of tests on this jack, and it's 310 capacity. So all you gotta do is place this underneath the jacking point correctly. Okay, so just imagine this is the front axle, and this is the wheel, and this is the axle, rigid axle, and this is the differential lock. This is actually the camera back. I just put it here. Just imagine this is the differential lock. So here is the jack, and here's the lever. There's a label right here, and it illustrates that you have to put the jack underneath the jacking point. It's a little bit closer to the differential lock, and it's right underneath the axle, the rigid axle. So it's 3/10. And another thing is, this is the recess point, and you have to make sure this recess point, it's got to be underneath the axle like this. You put the jack right underneath, and then you put the lever right through here, and you just start to pump it. When you actually put it underneath the axle, it's not very stable. So you have to put a hand on the jack, your left hand on the jack, to provide a little bit stability on the jack, and the other hand is pumping up the jack a little bit. See, it's going to take a little while that you're raising the axle. I counted for like 140 times you can raise the wheel up from the ground, like 2 to 3 centimeters. So you have to repeat it for 140 times to raise the wheel centimeters, and that's good enough. Keep pumping, keep pumping. You cannot tell the wheel has been raised. Just jack this thing up. And you cannot see it's already been raised, the wheel up from the ground. But actually later I'm gonna release the air from the pump, and the whole thing will goes down. As long as you put the jack underneath the jacking point with the recess point on the jack and very close to the differential lock, it's going to work pretty good. So make sure you put it right underneath. And another thing is this metal plate, it's a weight plate, but when you go off-road and go on road trip, you can bring a metal plate in your car, and it's going to provide a lot more stability to the jack. So that's what you got to do to make sure you have a plate in your car sometime. It's going to provide a great stability, especially on the rock, on the rock terrain or some the dirt terrain. That's going to be very helpful. So already the axle is already in the air. So what I'm going to do is to put this lever on the valve and twist it a little bit and release the air, and you will see the jack goes down a little bit. You see the jack goes down a little bit, and you close the valve in order to prevent the liquid escape from the jack. Using lug wrench, loosen the bolts on the wheel you wish to change by about 1 full turn. Do not unscrew the bolts completely. Assemble the pump lever for the jack from the vehicle toolkit. Lower in screw on the jack clockwise as far as it will go using notch on the pump lever. Do not turn pressure release screw by more than 1 to 2 revolutions, otherwise hydraulic fluid could escape. Position jack vertically under the jacking point of axle carrier tube. The front or rear axle must sit securely in the recess of jack. Keep pumping until axle carrier tube sits securely in the recess of the jack and the base of the jack lies evenly on the ground. It is really hard to pump the jack. It took me 280 times to push the lever. I made a marker indicate how far the jack goes up before I put it underneath the axle. It saved me time and energy, so next time I know exactly the height I should jack it up to before I put it under the axle. You must know pump the jack under the axle would be really hard. It still took me like 140 pushes on the lever and raised that 3 centimeters from the ground. After the vehicle raised, unscrew all the bolts and give a tire a real good hard kick, but make sure the rim won't hit the brake caliper or brake discs. This could impair the level of comfort when braking. Once you put the new wheels on, tighten the wheel bolts evenly in a crosswise pattern in the sequence indicated on the diagram. I changed all 4 wheels. After all this done, it will be better to do a full balancing and alignment for the wheels. The procedure for the safety inspection to get the renewed registration is: first, do the exterior check. Make sure your exterior is exactly the same with the digitized file. Remove all the stickers on the rear window.
可以了，然后呢？
Second, pay 300 RMB to the police office. Third, check the exhaust readings. Fourth, check the brakes and headlights.
这捡什么呀？哦。
Fifth, go to the office hall to get the renewed sticker. When it's all done, I will throw the 83 tires back on again. Thanks for watching this episode Glog, and leave your comments below. Make sure you subscribe and leave your comments. I will see you in another episode of Glog.